Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Rail lore video. Today, I'll be going over the 10 Stonehearts of the IPC and their leader, Diamond. We recently got our first look at all of them during a new Myriad Celestia trailer, so I thought it would be the perfect time to talk about their lore. Also, this video does contain spoilers for the quests listed on screen now, so if you haven't done those, you have been warned. Anyways, let's move right on and get into the video. To start off this video, I want to talk about the 3 Stonehearts that we have met in game so far, the first being Topaz. Topaz, real name Yelena, is a fire user who follows the path of the hunt. She is ranked P44 in the IPC, formerly P45, and holds the cornerstone Topaz of debt retrieval. She is the first Stoneheart that we meet in game, making her first appearance during the Trailblaze continuance, jolted awake from a winter dream. From this mission, we learn a bit more about her personality and what she's like overall. As suggested by her cornerstone, she traveled to Eurolos 6 to collect the debt they owed to the IPC. To try and get Bronya to sign a deal for the debt, she relays the story of her past and how her planet was helped by the IPC. She explains how she went on to join the 10 Stonehearts at a young age, and how she believes the IPC could help Eurolos 6 recover from the Eternal Freeze. From this quest, we also learned that she is quite the fan of cute animals, especially her warp trotter, Numby. Her signature light cone, Worrisome Blissful, shows her with a ton of different creatures as well. Later on, she also made a few reappearances on Penacony during the Trailblaze missions there. As for her future appearances, I think there's potential for her to appear quite often. Her main focus is debt retrieval, and any planet we visit could owe something to the IPC. We could also see her again if Ethereum Wars gets expanded, perhaps with a new tournament that includes Penacony and Emphorius. Now then, the next Stoneheart that we meet in game is Aventurine. Aventurine, real name Kakavasha, is an imaginary user who follows the path of the preservation. He is ranked P45 in the IPC and holds the cornerstone Aventurine of Stratagems. Before we formally met him, we heard him on a call with Topaz in the previously mentioned Jolted Awake from a Winter Dream Trailblaze continuance. In this call, he asks for Topaz's help in an upcoming mission, which just so happens to take place on the planet of festivities, Penacony. Of course, Penacony is where we first meet Aventurine face to face. During the Trailblaze missions here, he acts as a supporting character with his own mysterious motives. He always has a constant smile on his face, making it hard for others to discern his true feelings. Whenever we meet him, we can never really tell what exactly he's up to. We do learn that he's a gambler and a risk-taker, willing to bet everything for his goals. We see this firsthand during these quests when he sacrifices his cornerstone in order to give the IPC some control of Penacony. He also goes as far as to gamble his own life after his cornerstone was destroyed, something that did work out in his favor. The Stonehearts held a meeting to decide whether Aventurine should stay a Stoneheart or not, and he was ultimately allowed to stay, with his cornerstone being restored as well. As for his future appearances, I don't think he'll appear quite as often as Topaz. His role as a strategist was necessary on Penacony to give the IPC some leverage, but it might not be necessary on every planet. While we might hear from him occasionally, I think major appearances from him won't be too common. As for the final Stoneheart that we've met in game so far, we have Jade. Jade is a quantum user who follows the path of the erudition. She is ranked P46 in the IPC and holds the cornerstone Jade of Credit. While her real name is unconfirmed at the moment, there is potential for it to be Eve. When she signs her name while casting her skill, it looks like she signs the name Eve instead of Jade. Her overall theme also seems to be inspired by Adam and Eve and the Garden of Eden, so her real name being Eve would certainly fit this theme. As I said though, she is currently the last of the Stonehearts that we've met in game. She was mentioned and even shown a few times throughout Penacony's Trailblaze missions, before finally making her first appearance in Farewell Penacony. Speaking of which, the quest that she first appears in is called All About Eve, which could once again hint to her real name being Eve. Now, Jade is incredibly good at negotiating and making deals. She of course runs the Jade exchange, but she was also able to make a good deal for the IPC in Penacony. With her cornerstone, she's able to learn more about a person and what they truly want, which allows her to have an advantage during negotiations. Additionally, the power of her cornerstone allowed her to figure out that the Stellaron hunters follow the path of the finality. As for her future appearances, she has a lot of potential to appear again. As seen on Penacony, she wants to open more branches of the Jade exchange, so there is definitely potential for her to appear on other worlds to open more branches. Now then, it's time to move on to the Stonehearts that we haven't yet met in-game. These Stonehearts were all shown in the recent Myriad Celestial trailer, Stoneheart's Oath Ring, allowing us to learn a bit more about them. The first of these Stonehearts I want to talk about is Pearl. She is ranked P45 in the IPC and holds the cornerstone of Pearl. We learned from Herta and this trailer that she is an Intellitron, though this fact was questioned by Aventurine. Either way, we do know that she is interested in historical events relating to mechanical life forms, including the Mechanical Emperor's Wars and the Border Star Trade War. To learn more about these events, she reached out to Herta for use of the simulated universe to investigate these periods of time. Herta knew about Pearl because Screwlim had mentioned her, which is why Herta believed her to be an Intellitron. During the vote for Aventurine's position, she voted in favor of keeping him as a Stoneheart, believing that there should be more justice in his life. As for her making an appearance in the future, I think she could be introduced quite soon. She already has a voice actor, and when the Stonehearts were shown in Farewell Penacony, she was one of the more detailed ones. I could see her making an appearance alongside Screwlim, as the two do seem to know each other. On a return to the Herta space station, Screwlim could introduce us to this Stoneheart. The next Stoneheart I want to talk about is Sugilite. His rank in the IPC is unknown, and he holds the cornerstone of Sugilite. During the vote, he voted in favor of removing Aventurine from the 10 Stonehearts. He believed that his actions were mainly for his own benefit, and that his death was unnecessary and extravagant. However, he is seen sitting in a room with a grand feast in front of him while also being surrounded by gold, chests, and various relics. To me, he seems quite extravagant himself. According to Topaz, he was ignoring the facts of the situation and assuming things, which leads me to believe that he could have a rivalry with Aventurine. Like Pearl, I think he could appear quite soon as well, for the same reasons I mentioned before. He could make an appearance when Aventurine comes back into the story, showing off their potential rivalry. Perhaps his first appearance could be on our next destination, Amphorius. He was surrounded by ancient relics, and since Amphorius seems to be based off ancient Greece and Rome, he may want to add more relics to his collection. Moving on though, the next Stoneheart on the list is Sapphire. Their rank in the IPC is unknown, and they hold the cornerstone of Sapphire. During the vote, they voted in favor of removing Aventurine from the 10 Stonehearts. As for the reason behind this, they value oaths more than they value results. Even though Aventurine did help acquire Penacony for the IPC, he betrayed his oath by destroying his cornerstone. In the Stonehearts teaser, Sapphire is represented by the mythological griffin. They are also shown to have 2 swords and a royal-looking crest, which leads me to believe that they could be a noble of some sort. As for future appearances from Sapphire, I think it may be a while before we finally get to meet them. In the trailer, Pearl spoke for them, and we didn't even get a clear glimpse as to what they look like. As such, they will probably remain one of the most mysterious Stonehearts for the time being. Another one of these mysterious Stonehearts is the next one I want to talk about, Agate. Their rank in the IPC is unknown, and they hold the cornerstone of Agate. Very little is known about Agate at the moment, and Obsidian speculated that they might even be dead. In their absence, Obsidian cast their vote for them, which was to remove Aventurine from the 10 Stonehearts. Just like Sapphire, I think it will probably be a while before we get to meet Agate in-game. Obsidian was the one who spoke for them in the Stonehearts trailer, and once again, they might even be dead. We could get hints about Agate's situation in the future, but we probably won't meet them for a while. Now then, the next Stoneheart is one that we do know a bit more about, that being Obsidian. She is ranked P46 in the IPC and holds the cornerstone of Obsidian. During the vote, she voted in favor of removing Aventurine from the 10 Stonehearts. She thought he was overly timid on Penacony, as she would have preferred more of a bloodbath. In fact, she seems to be taking a literal bloodbath in the trailer, which shows off her predatory and sadistic personality. In the past, it has been said that she believes there is no fun in prey that dies a natural death. Overall, she seems to be inspired by a vampire, a theme that is made clear in the trailer. She is only seen at night with a crescent moon, she drinks blood red wine while taking a literal bloodbath, and she has bats that carry her cornerstone for her. Like Pearl and Sugilite, I think she could appear quite soon in Star Rail's story. She already has a voice actor and was one of the more detailed Stonehearts seen in Farewell Penacony. Additionally, she already seems to be quite the popular character in the community, and I've seen many people hoping that she'll come out soon. Even without that though, I could see her appearing on Amphorius. A world torn between 3 different paths would be the perfect opportunity for her to get her bloodbath. She may end up provoking the different factions on the planet to get what she wants in the end. Anyways, the next Stoneheart I want to talk about is the mysterious Amber. Her rank in the IPC is unknown, and she holds the cornerstone of Amber. Little is known about Amber at the moment, but it is said that she prefers to remain neutral. She did still vote to keep Aventurine as a Stoneheart though, likely seeing his use. After all, she is seen monitoring the other Stonehearts in the trailer, so she may know things the others don't. As for her making an appearance in the game, I think we might have to wait a bit. Pearl spoke for her in the trailer, and her face was blocked by all her screens. For now, she may sit back and observe, but I'm sure we'll see her in the game at some point. Moving on to the final member of the 10 Stonehearts, we have Opal. He is ranked P46 in the IPC and holds the cornerstone of Opal. During the vote, he voted in favor of keeping Aventurine as one of the 10 Stonehearts. He believed that they still have use for him, and confirmed that Diamond also approved of this outcome. While not much is known about Opal at the moment, it is suggested that his tactics can be a bit extreme. After all, Diamond decided that Opal's tactics wouldn't have led to a peaceful outcome on Penacony. As such, Opal then selected Aventurine to lead the Penacony project in his stead. As for him making an appearance in the game, I think he could actually be the next Stoneheart that we see. He seems to be the one that the trailer focuses on most, and he is also the most detailed Stoneheart seen in Farewell Penacony, besides of course the 3 that we already have as playable characters. Additionally, he made an appearance in the HoYoLab article, Your Friend Jade Made a New Post. There has been a trend of the next playable Stoneheart interacting with the most recent playable Stoneheart in one way or another. Aventurine talked with Topaz on Eurillo 6, and Jade was a main part of Aventurine's backstory and talked to him on Penacony. Opal appearing in this article could be suggesting that he is the next Stoneheart in line. Now, there is one more person I need to talk about, that being Diamond, the leader of the 10 Stonehearts. He is ranked P47 in the IPC and is also an emanator of the Preservation. At the moment, it's unknown if he possesses a cornerstone. After all, the power of the cornerstones comes from his authority as an emanator, so he probably doesn't need one himself. Still, he could have one for himself to keep up the theme of the gemstone names. As I said though, Diamond is the leader of the 10 Stonehearts. He approved of keeping Aventurine as a Stoneheart, knowing that he would have use for him later on. He believes he needs all the Stonehearts to support Klapoth in the upcoming war. A war between the Eons is definitely happening soon, and Diamond wants to be ready. As for his appearance in the game, I think it may be a while before we finally get to meet him. I think we might meet all the other Stonehearts first, before finally meeting him at Pier Point. We didn't even see him in the Stonehearts trailer, so they're definitely saving him for later on. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the lore of the 10 Stonehearts of the IPC. I'm really excited to learn more about these characters, and I really hope we get to see more of them in game soon. If you want to learn more about Star Rail though, I recommend my videos on the Xianzhou flagships, Izumo, Glamoth, and Thalassa. With that said, I would love to hear what other bits of lore you'd like me to cover in the comments below as well. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Sources and further readings are also in the description if you want to check them out. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you all in the next video.